Ladies and gentlemen, it is my very great pleasure now to invite the Member for Bathurst and Minister for Local Government and a distinguished former Mayor of our city, the Honourable Paul Toole, to speak to us.
Good morning everyone, and thanks Christopher. There's still hope. I'm actually trying to get the Parliament of New South Wales to actually move to Bathurst next, so that is something I'm still working on. Could I just firstly say how proud I am today to be able to join each and every one of you for what is a very historic milestone. Distinguished guests, members of the Bathurst community, this is a historic day. This is a historic day from the point of view that it is an important milestone that we are all recognising. Here we stand 200 years later after Governor Macquarie proclaimed Bathurst a settlement. And I think it's important that we actually acknowledge that milestone, where we can look at Bathurst today and see that we continue to be a significant city where we are now one of the fastest regional growing cities in this nation. But not only are we a regional and vibrant city, we've continued to be a regional and vibrant city, whether it be in education, agriculture, retail, business or industry. And I think too, when we look at Bathurst today, not only are we recognised nationally, but we are also recognised internationally as well for events that take place. And I also want to make special acknowledgement this morning of Mayor Watanabe, because Mayor Watanabe, who is here today, is also someone who has been instrumental in a sister city relationship that was developed with Okama over 25 years ago. So it shows that Bathurst goes beyond our borders for the recognition that we get. We see expanding rural and residential areas. The gold rush of the 1850s and 1860s, it saw a lot of our small villages pop up around the area as well. Places like Hill End, Safala, Wattle Flat. We have a strong economy and a very strong community. And we are reminded of this every day. We're very proud of our heritage, very proud of our history. And when we look around Bathurst, that is a reminder all the time. When we look at the architecture of many buildings that remind us of that today. We've got great buildings like the old government cottage just down the road here. We've got Abercrombie House, Miss Trails House. These are things that remind us of where we've come from and of our past. But also I'd like to acknowledge the contribution that has been made to this flagstaff today. And I know that the federal government, through the lobbying of John Cobb, has seen money put in by the federal government, but also the Premier of New South Wales sent his apologies today as well, because the state government also made a contribution with the local council to ensure that this is an event that has recognition from all tiers of government. Can I finish just by saying though that I'm a proud Bathurstian. Wherever I go, I'm proud, like all of you here, to say that I'm from Bathurst. All of us here have made a very small contribution to this city. We have helped to shape what it is today. As a father, someone who's grown up in this area, I couldn't think of a better place to raise a family and be a member of a great community. Happy birthday, Bathurst.
Thank you very much indeed, Minister. And it should be noted, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that Paul Toole still holds the record achieved a couple of years ago for having the highest swing, or maybe the highest primary vote, I think it was, ever gained by any state government candidate in any election in the history of New South Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to invite the leader of our whole community of the Bathurst region, our affable and respected Mayor, Councillor Gary Rush, to address us on this historic day.
Welcome distinguished guests, my fellow councillors, visitors to Bathurst and to everyone in our community who has joined us for this very special event, the reinstating of Macquarie's flagstaff and the official mark of 200 years of European settlement. I would like firstly to pay my respects to the Wiradjuri people, the original custodians of this land, and to their elders past and present, and a special acknowledgement to Wiradjuri Elder Dinawan Juraban. We are proud and honoured as a community to mark our city's place in the history of our nation, and we feel honoured to be standing alongside royal, federal and state representatives for such an event. I would like to acknowledge the contribution of both the federal and state governments to the Flagstaff project, which demonstrates their recognition of the significance of this place and what happened here 200 years ago. Of course, this is a one-off event. You can only turn 200 once. Events like this mean a great deal to a community, and the way in which they are celebrated reflects very much on the sort of community we are: inclusive, welcoming, respectful and peaceful. In Bathurst in 2015, we intend to tell a story, not just about the arrival of one group of people here in 1815, but to talk about that event as it more rightly was, the coming together of two cultures. Through the legacy of Governor Lachlan Macquarie, Bathurst is very proudly Australia's first inland European settlement. This beautiful area, running alongside the Wambool and recorded in white man's history as the Bathurst Plains, is also very proudly the home of the Wiradjuri people. We celebrate today the history and heritage of this unique part of Australia and the traditions of all the people, places and events that have shaped who we are. Great care and collaboration has gone into creating this modern flagstaff, designed by local architect Henry Bialowas. It is a monument, a marker of a point in our history, and a place where due recognition is given to both cultures who were here on that day.
These are some of the people that I've learned my knowledge from. So they put me up here. I'm not the leader of the Wiradjuri people or anything like that. I'm just doing the job what the elders have asked me to do. And that's all we've done, is to follow our protocols. So with all that there, I'd like to call Gary to come up, please. I'd like to present this gift that we want to give to the Wiradjuri people of to the Aboriginal Wiradjuri and Aboriginal people. It's the possum skin cloak. It has a story on it. The burning and that of it on there was designed that we'll get the story out to people later. And this has been done by some of our young artists in this town. So I'd like to present this to Gary on our behalf, to give to you as a gift for him to wear when we as Aboriginal and Wiradjuri people hold our own special functions, to wear that as a sign of respect for our culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is one remaining short speech, and I would like to invite now Bathurst Youth Mayor Laura Van Oom to speak to us. She's the youngest of our representatives on the stage, and the only female one, as it happens. Laura.
Official guests and fellow residents of Bathurst, what a privilege it is to be the Youth Mayor for 2015 as we celebrate 200 years of our magnificent city. It is an honour to be here celebrating with you Bathurst's 200th birthday, reflecting on 200 years of glorious history and looking forward to the next 200 years of exciting and what is sure to be wonderful history yet to be made. Bathurst is the kind of place that has the perfect city-to-country ratio, with the opportunities, industries and communication of a big city, contrasting to the beautiful landscape, close-knit community feel and space to be free and live. It is a city that you grow up in and then raise your own children in due to the unforgettable childhood that you experienced here yourself. It provides a future where the youth, as one, openly share their ideas and issues affecting us locally, nationally and globally, and working towards finding solutions. A future where young people actively participate in our community, valuing this role and using our talents in shaping the future of this city for the next 200 years. For it is now, celebrating all that Bathurst has been in its first 200 years of colonization, that we look to the future and see that all that we can become. Thank you. I would now like to invite the Combined Schools Choir to the stage to perform We Are One.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now invite the Mayor back to the lectern for the flag raising ceremony. And when the flag is raised, please join the choir and the RSL concert band under the baton of Matthias in the singing of 2 verses of the national anthem.
Well, thank you, Christopher. And just before I do, I'd just like to thank Dinawan and the Wiradjuri elders for this very special gift to the people of Bathurst. And I must say that I am the envy of the official party right at this particular moment. But thank you, and thank you to the All Schools Choir. And I might just say too that is the very first time in our history that all schools have come together to combine to perform like that. I would now like to invite His Excellency to present the Australian flag to the people of Bathurst.